So we're just in time getting my January pages ready before the new year comes. I am moving into my Hemlock and Oak notebook from Canada. It is 150 GSM with it's white, but it's on the edge of ivory coloured pages. And I am very excited to use this notebook. They have a strong environmental focus, so you'll be able to hear more about it in my sustainability video that's coming up soon. This is going to focus on managing my ADHD. I've just gone back on medication for my depression. So it's a very light dose, but it just keeps me a bit calmer. And I really don't want to go on ADHD medication as well. So I'm going to try all the other ways of managing ADHD. And you will have seen in my setup video for 2026 that this was going to be a focus of this notebook. And I did a spread that looked at all the things that can help you manage ADHD without medication. I'll consider medication if I need to, but I just want to try this first. So I am going to be focusing on mainly a routine. That is the key, having a routine. It means that the rest of your life is just kind of falls into place a bit better. And in amongst that will mean managing my sleep better, having regular meal times, exercise times, and managing my screen time. You will have seen also in my setup that I've got this quest, which is about keeping my environment clean and uncluttered. So this, I've kind of set myself a quest. So basically, when I do one of these things, I mark off the date that I did something, and then I mark off one of these. And I may reward myself when I get to the bigger sections of this drawing. I'm not sure, but it'll feel good to fill it in. And that's for the whole 6 months. So I'm not going to go crazy here, but I'll do more than I've been doing, that's for sure. So then we move into my January pages. So you kind of got an idea of what my focus is, and you'll really see it throughout this. Just quickly, the materials I'm using are mainly this washi tape from the washi tape shop. It isn't kiss cut around each piece, so you do have to cut around each picture with scissors. And it's just a whole bunch of girls casually dressed with other little pictures to go with it. And I was thinking about all fancy ways of using it, and I just ended up keeping it nice and simple. It took me long enough as it was, and just doing boxes with the girls and the other stickers, and I've added some keywords, and that's all I've done really. I used a range of markers that match the stickers, so I've got a few different brands here. I've got a mild liner, the Ready colour, I think it's MVE, and then I've got 912 in the Tombow dual brush pen, and then I've got a Stettler marker, dual ended, in a brownie sort of red, and then I've got a yellow Tombow 993, and then I've got two Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens in two different blues. They are 247 and 146. And that's pretty much all I've used to decorate. I did all my line work, like lines like that, and my writing with a fountain pen. This is a Waterman. I don't know why I use this, and it's got a blue ink in it. The reason I don't know why I used it is because it's not a good idea to do line work and like your base layouts with a fountain pen. And the reason for that is that the ink, pretty much all fountain pen inks are water-based unless they're called permanent. And this doesn't have a permanent ink in it. And so that means that when you are filling things in, and especially if you're using water-based markers, you're going to smear the pen. So it wasn't a very smart decision on my part. I did finally realise when I was doing these lines, and so did them with a Pigma Micron pen. So I'll just have to deal with that as I go through the month and try and avoid too much smearing. But yeah, that is why you don't use fountain pens for your line work. This journal fortunately has a very quick, the paper has a very quick dry time of 3 seconds. So smearing won't generally be an issue, just when I'm putting water on water-based markers. So I've just got to be careful. So my title page, January, and then I've just got my monthly calendar, which is where I note down things I'm doing and things I have on, appointments I have, all that sort of stuff. This is the crux of my ADHD management. So this is about establishing a routine. I've kept it as simple as possible because I want to be able to stick to it. And so instead of trying to rule up my entire day, I've picked the most critical things and I'll try and stick to those. So the critical things are going to bed at 11 and getting up at 7. Because if I don't do that, then the whole rest of the day gets mucked up. So if I get up at 7, my first thing is to deal with my dog. Take him for a walk, feed him. I note down, if you've seen my past journals, you'll know that I have been tracking on an annual basis where I walk him. I've moved that into the monthly so that I remember to fill it out, because here you can see I just forgot about it. And yeah, so I just note down the places I walk him, and I also note when I washed him, wormed him, took him to the vet, things like that. So that will go there just for the month. Then I've got an hour to do that and have a shower when I get back. He's getting old, so he has shorter walks now. So it's getting a bit easier to fit in all the other stuff I have to do in the morning. From 8 till 8:30, I am going to have breakfast. I am terrible at breakfast. I love breakfast. It's my favourite meal of the day. But I admit that I normally just grab a coffee at home and then I'll have breakfast at like 10:30 or 11 o'clock in the morning. What I want to do is have breakfast at 8 o'clock every morning. That is part of my key routine, and that means I've got a regular meal time and my body will learn to adjust to expecting food at that time. The key for ADHD is to eat protein for breakfast. I'm not a big protein for breakfast person. I don't particularly like eggs, but I do love this thing called a mug muffin, and you basically mix a mushed up banana with 1 egg and some rolled oats and a little bit of cinnamon, and you chuck it in the microwave for 1 minute 40 seconds, and voila, you have a breakfast. I put some natural yogurt on top with some fruit, and that is actually pretty good in terms of this because it gives me some protein and it's a solid start to the day. Plus it's really good for you. So I'm going to focus on 8 till 8:30 having breakfast and coffee at home. I'll go to work and start work at 9, work through, and then I've got a few free hours there to do my journaling, whatever else. So they're the key morning routines. In the evening, this is all about getting myself ready so that I can get to bed on time and so that I can get up and get to work on time the next morning. So I will prepare my lunch for the next day. So from 8 till 9, and that's probably when I'm cleaning up after dinner as well, I can prepare my lunch. So that is really important, and that will probably mean that I have a proper lunch and not just grab whatever's handy. Then from 9 till 9:30, my job is to prepare my outfit for the next day and make sure my bag for work is packed. That is so that I can get up, have my shower, and get on the go the next morning. And then finally, doesn't matter so much what I do here, but obviously I've got to clean my teeth and stuff. I want to be in bed by 10 so that I have an hour to read, because reading is by far the most common thing that stops me from getting to sleep on time is I read too long. I'm going to have to be really strict with myself, make sure I get into bed, read for that hour, and then at 11 o'clock it's lights out. This is my most challenging goal by far. I really struggle with turning my light off. I just want to keep reading. I am also going to read paper books in bed, like a paperback, not my Kindle. So that means that I'm less likely to then suddenly start switching and looking at social media. So that is the goal there. So that's my routine. Kept it minimal as much as possible and just focused on the key elements. Now, of course, this all focuses around this. I really need to get a more regular routine with my sleep. I am not going to sleep on time. I'm waking up late, or I'm not getting enough sleep during the night. And so like regularly reading until 1 a.m. So there's a really big focus on managing that routine. That's the reading time, in bed, sleep, and then wake up at 7. If I get that much sleep, I'll find it easier to get up at 7. I don't mind getting up in the morning, but if I've had enough sleep, and I am someone that does like to get a few more hours. So fingers crossed I can stick to this one, because this is critical, especially for my focus during the day. If you don't get enough sleep, I am so distracted. It's just really difficult to get any work done. Obviously, on top of all this, I need to maintain my hydration and make sure I'm drinking enough water. These are just for keeping track of any sugar-free soft drinks, and anything like alcohol or hot chocolate, anything with sugar in it, goes up here. And then coffee and water. Coffee apparently is not a bad thing for people with ADHD. It does help you concentrate. So all those years that I've thought coffee was bad for me, I read something about ADHD and it said drink coffee, so I don't feel bad about that anymore. I do tend to only have 2 a day. Then this, I've still got a writing project, so this is just tracking how many words I write per day. Then we go on to my mental health spread. Now this has stepped up a notch in January, and that's because I've just gone back on my medication, and I will be getting regular therapy sessions, just once a month, like just a check-in kind of thing. I don't have a lot of people to talk to about the deep stuff, and so yeah, therapist just gives me someone to talk to, that's all. So this, I will be tracking that I've taken my daily tablet up here, and then this is looking at things that could trigger not feeling good, and then these are the things that are the result of not feeling good. So I will track whether or not these things have happened each day, and then I just simply track my mood. And then these are interventions, so just noting down, did I go to therapy? Like, so that will just get 1 tick for the whole month. Did I write a letter? You'll be hearing more about this soon. I have just started a letter journal, and I'm going to be writing about it soon. But it is very much a mental health project. Then I've got my mental health journal, which I just note down all sorts of things in. And then call a friend, because I know that I always immediately feel better when I have had a phone chat with a friend. And then did I go outdoors? Because that also makes me feel better. So yeah, all of this is, just to keep tabs, make sure that the medication's working, that I'm feeling better, and yeah, just monitoring the situation. Basically, I'm feeling really good now, especially since I started taking the medication again a few weeks ago. I feel heaps better. So hopefully this will all have a good message. In here, I just have a few notes. So if I've noted, for instance, work stress or a major life event, if I mark one of these boxes that I had a major life event, like someone had to go to hospital, or someone like maybe, oh God forbid, my dog is going to die in the next couple of years because he's really old, that would be a major life event. And then here I would just note what happened. And then obviously you can see how this compares to your mood. So that's my mental health tracker. Then we've got my exercise tracker. I haven't been exercising very well lately, and I really want to get back into it. Over Christmas I'm fixing up my bike, and I want to ride to work at least one day a week, and I want to ride otherwise. So I've got 2 bike rides a week. I've allowed for 2 times kayaking over the month. It might be more than that. That's why there's more room to add more. But I at least want to go twice, and then going for walks. And that's not dog walking, that's actually going for a walk. And it might just be that I go for a walk at lunchtime while I'm at work. That's fine, as long as it's a walk that I wouldn't have done otherwise, like walking my dog. And then this is just tracking my steps, which I do every month. And then we just move into my daily diary, which is simply noting down things I've done, things that happened, things I have strong feelings about, anything. And then finally, in the last box, I've just got a monthly review, which I like to do. I either write notes about major things that happened that month, major feelings, or I might just note whether a tracker worked or not, and whether I managed to improve my sleep patterns and things like that. So that is my January journal. Just do a quick flip through again. It's pretty simple, nothing fancy. Using stickers again. Stickers do save a lot of time, and it means that I've then got time to put into other aspects of my pages. I had to spend quite a lot of time thinking about this routine layout. So yeah, just using stickers means you've got more time to plan the other aspects of your pages. So happy new year, everyone. I hope you have a really great 2026. I'm looking forward to a good year, and I hope you're getting into your journal and getting it ready, and yeah, you'll be checking in with me soon, hopefully. See ya.